This is where things get really interesting. Welcome to Group C. This next matchup on championship court, it's you win and you are in. You lose and you are not making the playoffs. It is the Utah Black Diamonds versus the Miami Pickleball Club, both 1-1 after day number 2 of Major League Pickleball, where some competition got a little dicey yesterday. The Utah Black Diamonds picked up the win over the Dallas Pickleball Club yesterday, 3-2 in a dream breaker, as you now look to the win probability. But for Miami, they defeated the Brooklyn Aces, which is where they picked up their win. While this is taking place on championship court, Group C is also closing out the other matchup that's taking place. The Brooklyn Aces are facing off against the Dallas Pickleball Club. So simultaneously, these two competitions will come together. Let's take a look at Miami Pickleball Club and who is on their roster, because it is stacked. Tyson McGuffin, he's going to bark back against this team. What do you like about this crew?
Well, I really hope there's a change of the heart and soul of this team from last night. Seemed a little bit defeated there. We didn't really see the McGuffin barking and energy that he's used to bringing there. So hopefully they've regrouped. They're coming out. They understand this is a must-win right now. You have Federica Stackstrud, Tyra Black, absolutely incredible players. Like we said, we didn't have Mary Brasha in Atlanta, but we have her now teaming up with Tyra Black. So look for them to really, I think all the kinks are out now, and for them to play incredible pickleball.
Well, you mentioned it. You saw them yesterday in action against the Dallas Pickleball Club, where they took the loss. So let's now take a look, though, on the other side. Their opponents, the Utah Black Diamonds, they didn't make the playoffs in Atlanta. However, this is a team that definitely is stacked.
It definitely is, as you see their nice skiing moves by Thomas Wilson, but they have the #1 player in the world, Annalie Waters, teaming up with the GOAT of pickleball, Irina Tereshchenko. They are dangerous. They can really play either side. You have Annalie Waters that can completely take over a match by herself. Here we have Thomas Wilson, probably some of the best ground strokes in all of pickleball. And when you team him up with AJ Kohler, the cousins here in Major League Pickleball, they can also be very dangerous and set each other up well. So looking for them, they understand they didn't like not making the playoffs. They have a little chip on their shoulder, so look for them to come out. And as we remember from a previous MLP in Arizona, I loved when Annalie Waters went up against Tyson McGuffin. She pounded her chest and barked right back, so she is not scared of him at all. I love it.
Well, we may get a chance to see it again if they go all the way back to a dream breaker. That's a great memory to recall.
I loved it.
One of the great moments of Major League Pickleball by Margaritaville. Well, and you also said Irina Tereshchenko, she's the GOAT of Major League Pickleball. She's picked up 4 titles, not to mention the super finals of season 1 this year. Goes all the way back to 2021 in Austin when she won, not to mention in June of 2022, October of 2022 in Columbus, and also picked up the Mesa title in 2023 with the LA Mad Drops. I mean, can Irina Tereshchenko be stopped in Major League Pickleball?
I don't think so. She feels very comfortable in this entire atmosphere here, especially when you're teaming up with Annalie Waters. I mean, it's hard not to play your best when you know she's got your back. Irina just really has to set up her partner in Annalie with an incredible backhand. She can really play from anywhere on the court, whether it's transition zone, she's at the baseline, whatever it is, Annalie Waters is going to get it done. And look for her to get loud right away. She does play when she is vocal and she is screaming. So I'm really excited for her to pick up the energy right off the bat. And you don't really hear too much from Irina, but sometimes you'll hear a let's go. But she's that steady calmness that you really need within a team. And I think it really balances out Annalie.
Annalie Waters, just 16 years old. She is the #1 pickleball player in the world on the women's side. Undisputed. No one can touch her. She has been so phenomenal from the start of her pickleball career, which is crazy to think. She's only 16 years old. Just a few years ago, she came into the pickleball space and immediately skyrocketed to the top of the list. She was the #2 overall pick here in the season 2 side of Major League Pickleball in 2023. She comes from such an incredible sports background, whether it was her playing soccer or tennis, but she was the youngest to ever become pro at the game of pickleball. That could change, though. I'm not going to lie, just because I've seen some of the amateurs out there and some of the youth that are playing, and I'm going to tell you right now, they have got some skill. You also have on the other side Mary Brasha, who comes with just great control in her game, and Hurricane Tyra Black. in terms of strategy, how might Miami go after the Utah Black Diamonds in gender doubles on the women's side?
I think what they want to do is have Annalie Waters almost misstep her positioning within the court. She can take over a lot of court, but sometimes she leaves the gap open behind her. Sometimes you'll find the Black Diamonds in almost an I formation with Irina Tereshchenko behind her, Annalie Waters at the front, really dictating play up there. So if they can mix it up a little bit, go behind Waters, make her rethink her steps within the center of the court, I think that's going to be key for the Miami Pickleball Club.
And we mentioned Mary Brasha playing alongside Hurricane Tyra Black. This is a youthful team as well. Mary Brasha, just about 23 years of age, and Hurricane Tyra Black, 22, out of Delray Beach, Florida now. She was a pro tennis player, and she came into pickleball and said, you know, as much as I love singles, I really love the game of doubles, the camaraderie, the team spirit that you can find here at MLP by Margaritaville. So for her, will it be intriguing to see her against either Irina Tereshchenko or Annalie Waters in front, because they could potentially switch sides from time to time? Where can Hurricane Tyra Black try and negate some of the pressure she might feel?
Yeah, I mean, she's going to be playing the left side. She's going to be seeing the majority of the balls, really stepping in, being the aggressive player. However, there is a little mind game going on between Tyra Black and Annalie Waters because Tyra Black beat her in singles earlier this year. So there is some of that head game going on. Yeah, you may not see it, but it's there. And so look for her to maybe feed into that a little bit more. I mean, this is MLP. So yes, it's about the pickleball, but it's about the energy, it's about the chemistry. And if you can get in your opponent's head right off the bat, you can get some points on the board very quickly.
Well, Annalie Waters is currently residing on the left side of the court, as is Hurricane Tyra Black. Mary Brasha and Irina Tereshchenko both residing on the right side of the court. We get set. If you win, you are in. This is still a group stage match, but ultimately you really just need those 3 games for this Group C. First ball from Mary Brasha, good volley.
1-0.
An early take from Hurricane Tyra Black, just a slight ball below the net height.
1-1.
Nearly finding the defense, but you gotta love the amount of court that Hurricane Tyra Black can force you to play. Great drop volley.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, her spin is absolutely incredible, and her control with her drop shot. So you don't see it too much within the players, but Tyra Black definitely utilizes every single shot here in pickleball.
Saw a couple drives go high. Annalie Waters deciding to still take those out of the air instead of letting them go long.
Both teams here just still getting a little feel. I mean, we haven't really seen any long points play out here, or any patterns yet.
Great contacts from Annalie Waters. You can just tell how crisp that is coming off her paddle.
Yeah, and right, something to point out, we didn't have really sun in the first match here. We do here in the second, so I don't know if that's going to play too much of a factor, but definitely look for that, especially with the overheads.
That ball was going out of bounds, but it came so fast, Black couldn't get out of the way.
And that's one of Waters' specialties, is the poach. Whether it's forehand, backhand, I want to go ahead and favor her backhand a little bit more. I think that's even better than the forehand we just saw, but she is not scared to really take control of the entire court, just like that. And sometimes it's 2v1 against her, and she comes out on top 90% of the time.
on the ropes, but then the error on the side of Miami.
Yeah, you can already see right now the I formation playing out on the diamond side because Waters is so dominant in the middle. So Tereshchenko playing her part well, not wanting to get in her way, letting her play, and keeping the ball in when it comes to her.
Firefight the direction of the Utah Black Diamonds.
And Waters touched on this in an interview yesterday. She was saying, you know, sometimes it's hard really to jump in. You know each other's games so well, but to jump in as a cohesive doubles unit and really be that comfortable has been difficult. They think they've really figured out a good rhythm here, and I'm seeing it so right off the bat.
Utah Black Diamonds are rounded out by the likes of Thomas Wilson and AJ Kohler. For the Miami Pickleball Club, it's Federico Staxrud and Tyson McGuffin. Also started to filter in. They realize the importance of this matchup. Mary Brasha takes just a half step off the kitchen for that backhand. It's always tough on that right side, that left foot. You don't know if your partner's coming over to steal that one away. Interesting too, Hurricane Tire Black choosing to go a little bit more with a top spin return. Not a whole lot on it. Hits it pretty flat. Many players working with a sliced return. Here's some top spin from Tereshchenko. Brasha.
And I like that. I think when the Miami Pickleball Club can make the points a little bit longer, I would like to see Tereshchenko and Brasha getting a little bit more of that cross-court battle. Let's slow it down just a little bit, get Black involved when needed, then pull the trigger. Right there, I can see that really helping them get some more points on the board here.
Oh, Brasha put her hand up in the air. I think that ball would have been out of bounds, but nonetheless, so she walks away with a winner and a contact.
8-9.
Yeah, Miami just having a really hard time getting up to the kitchen line when they do. They're playing out some really good points, but when you have the Black Diamonds over there just with so much power and pace, keeping you at the baseline, they're just doing a great job.
Brasha with a lob. Again, we haven't seen it as often as I thought we might, considering the conditions, the sun in the eyes right now of the Utah Black Diamonds. They're practicing their sun stare.
Yeah.
Just the amount of pause on Annalie Waters' paddle creates so much indecision on the opposite side.
What I liked most about that is she looked right at Lee Waters, and she just stood there, you know, shaking her head up and down. That's the exact spot that I was telling you to go. So again, they have someone like Lee Waters on their side who's just so smart, knows the game in and out. She can really change up anything that she's seeing on the sideline that can be key differences in whether you win or lose. So you see her here talking to Waters. Don't know if she's really changing much, just maybe reassuring her on the points that she needs to go. Maybe because the change of ends, maybe if she's seeing something, yes, with the sun, or the wind not too bad today. It was a little bit swirlier earlier in the week, so not too much right now. But you know, I think just good keeping the positivity right now. You see them coming over, and yeah, Irina Tereshchenko, she's pretty locked in.
And a bit of an update for you, Cam, as we look to close out these group stages. Just getting told that the DC Pickleball team picked up a win, a 3-2 victory over the Bay Area Breakers.
Wow.
A little wild. So that does solidify our top 2 seeds in terms of those making it to the semifinals with a bye, and that would be the Orlando Squeeze as the number 1 seed, the DC Pickleball team as the number 2 seed based off of games net. Now it's all about who's going to face off in those quarterfinals. An extreme angle.
She's playing singles. She's literally playing singles right now. I mean, she's just playing so confident right now. Drives coming up, creating the movement up there. But again, we just see the cohesiveness of the doubles team, how that was just a seamless change of sides there by Waters and Tereshchenko.
Usually say you don't want to use that drop volley, but Hurricane Tyra Black's is so good that she's not looking to win there. She's just looking to get Annalie Waters off the spot.
Yeah, and it was a great play there. And as you see, just open up the court so much to then go right back behind her. Her touch, I was going to say soft, a little too soft there, but she really just does have soft hands up there because sometimes when you drop shot, you still have so much pace on it. She puts just enough slice to where it almost just deadens the ball.
That is a great dink. It's rare to see Annalie Waters not behind the ball. That time, the ball beat her to the spot.
11-13. Side out. Point. 14.
And that's tough against a team like the Diamonds right now. Those errors cannot happen. I mean, if you just want to stay in this and make sure you keep it close, potentially having a chance to win this, you just can't make those errors.
A little bit of an update as well for you in terms of Group A. This is really intriguing. The Chicago Slice have actually booked their ticket into the quarterfinals at a record of 1-2 based off their games net.
Wow.
Nice poach from Waters. And that's because, by the way, 3 of those teams in Pool A were 1-2, but it really comes down to the games net, and that was where the margin was the largest. So that was a wild, wild ride for the Chicago Slice, having lost 2 but still in. So a timeout called here. The Utah Black Diamonds with a 16-11 lead. Irina Tereshchenko, Annalie Waters coming out swinging right now. You talked about it. Waters looks like she's playing singles out there, but Irina Tereshchenko, she knows how to play her role well, which is a hard thing to do in some of these positions, but she's showing up in a big way right now.
And that's why I think, yes, we call her the GOAT, she's won, but I don't really think it's the championships. It's because she can fit in any team, with any player, with any partnership, and perform her part. And that's what makes her so deadly, and that's why everyone wants her on her team, because she really can just fit in the slot, and if she needs to be a little bit more powerful, she is. If she needs to be a little bit more reserved and pick her spots, I mean, she really just has such a well-rounded game that she can fit in anywhere and execute.
Irina Tereshchenko, originally from Russia. She went off to play tennis at Texas Tech for Red Raiders from 1999 to 2003.
12-16.
She's also been playing pickleball for a good amount of time. She actually started back in 2013. That's one of the earliest marks that I've heard of our pros.
10 years.
What a backhand from Hurricane Tyra Black.
And that's why she's so deadly up there. She just has such a cut angle. She's not even putting a lot on it, not really punching it, just hitting a cut nice and deep to the backhand side of Waters.
That's back-to-back points for the Miami Pickleball Club. Mary Brascio with the serve.
14-17.
really impressive dinking right now. Brosh is doing a nice job utilizing some depth against Irina Tereshchenko.
I think you hit it right there. It's the depth in the dinks. They know they can't stand with them with just these average dinks, getting it back in the kitchen. It's just not going to work.
It's more about moving them along the kitchen line, because if you look at it, yes, there is a ton of pace on that dink, but relative to some of the other ones you might see, it is marginally a little bit lower. So it's interesting because they're moving Tereshchenko, kind of got her tripped up on her footwork there. We've seen it a handful of times too against Waters.
And they're going to have to do that if they want to stay in this because of how solid they both can be. And they want to completely take Waters out of the picture here, which I get. So yeah, when you have Tereshchenko a little mixed up with her footing there, they're really capitalizing on it, which is great. I don't think they really did that last night. I think they had some good moments, but they didn't capitalize on those moments. So really like what I'm seeing here, and hopefully they can continue this momentum.
Utah Black Diamonds, owned by the Pardo family, founders of the Carvana PPA Tour.
And I did see
Time
him.
in. 15-17.
That's a really good ding.
I was going to say, I mean, just the change of pace. She's really just been speeding those up, but it was almost just a marshmallow ball. So for Brosh to create any pace was so difficult.
Hurricane Tyra Black with a little let's go as she catches Water, who's shifted to her right.
And that's been key this entire match because Waters does take so much of the court and comes so much into the center. That backhand side of hers has just been wide open. So that's where you've seen the majority of the points. So look for Waters. I don't think she's going to focus on it too much, but at least if there's an overhead, probably cover that a little bit more.
Pulling the paddle down is a skill from Annalie Waters as that one floated up. Again, Rasha still looking to utilize that lob over the top of Tereshchenko's head. Serve miss long.
Point 17. 17-19.
Oh, interesting. Annalie Waters completely changed her overhead contact.
Yeah, it almost looked like she was confused, but then
She dropped her elbow down and hit it flat.
yeah, barely hitting the end of the baseline there. So good for her to, I guess, take a little bit of pace off with the indecision.
A game point fended off by the Miami Pickleball Club, now 18-20.
And this is where we saw in the first matchup here with the squeeze and the AZ drive, you have to close it out when you have these match points.
Gosh, so many balls off the top of the net.
Yeah, it's tough, and wind's starting to pick up. I would say this is the most we've seen all day so far. So, might be swirling a little bit down there, but I don't think it's affecting play too much.
Annalie Waters committed to hitting that third shot drive regardless of where it landed on the court.
I think they're just both comfortable playing both sides. She knows Irina's a great left-sided player there, so if she is to take that risk and go over, it didn't come out in her favor, but she can trust her on that side.
Annalie Waters stays on the left side. That was to potentially get them to 20-20. Instead, it's another game point for the Utah Black Diamonds.
20-19.
That's a big time play. Miami ties the score 20-all.
And Black just has such an incredible backhand slice. It's not the hardest, most powerful backhand coming, but because she kind of puts that cut on it at that last minute, it's tough to get back.
Miami takes the lead.
Gosh,
Off of a defensive wonder play. Miami with a 21-20. They can steal this first game.
21-20.
That would be a huge win for the women on the Miami side to pick up this win.
21 all. Rally scoring both sides. That is a really nice placement from Mary Brasha. That was just inside the shoulder of Annalie Waters, enough to create the missed contact.
Yeah, and I think it really came from the aggressive dinks from Brasha. She was keeping him nice and low, created a pop-up with Tereshchenko, capitalized.
That is the game for the Miami Pickleball Club. Caught Annalie Waters shifting to the middle.
Wow.
They trailed for the majority of that matchup, but ultimately, look at this. A winner from the baseline from Hurricane Tyra Black gets them on the board first. 23-21, Miami Pickleball Club gets number one.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob ULTRA, superior light beer.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball.
Innovation is our specialty. Winning is his. Zane Navratil has won more than 40 Pro Gold medals and back-to-back Major League Pickleball titles. One of pickleball's most iconic and decorated athletes teamed up with our world-class engineers with one goal in mind: build a paddle that can dominate. The Zane Navratil Signature Paddle, designed for champions by champions. Available now. ProXR Pickleball. Innovation you can handle.
Dulce Vida Tequila. Tequila, pure and simple.
The sun was shining on Championship Court, and it was shining down on the Miami Pickleball Club. Makes sense, right? A little Florida sunshine coming their direction as they picked up game number one over the Utah Black Diamonds in a win and you're in situation. Cameron Irwin alongside Cameron Blackwood as we are now in day number 3 of Major League Pickleball by Margaritaville. Coming up next, it's men's gender doubles in this matchup. From Group C, Tyson McGuffin and Federico Staksrud taking on Thomas Wilson and AJ Kohler, the cousin duo now playing alongside one another. Cameron Blackwood, which way do you see this going?
Interesting enough, I think because of this comeback win from the women here on Miami, I'm going to give the favor over to the Miami Pickleball Club. I think Tyson feeds off of this energy. I really didn't see that last night, but you know what? I think he's regrouped, thinking, you know what? It's win and we're in. I want to make sure we get to the playoffs, see if we can't give ourselves a chance to get into the semifinals. And him and Fed have a good partnership. They have a good relationship on and off the court, and they really complement each other's game. My X factor here is going to be AJ Kohler. Is he going to be consistent? Is he going to step up when he he needs to. Sometimes he can get a little wild with his shots, try and do a little bit too much. So if he can play within himself, it's going to be a tight match. But, you know, if they can really rattle him kind of right off the bat, make him go for a little bit too much, my favor is in Miami.
So watch for Miami potentially go up 2-0 here, but AJ Kohler, Thomas Wilson, if they have anything to say about it, they are going to try and even this score for the Utah Black Diamonds. Win percentage 55-45 in favor of Staxrud and McGuffin.
Glad I got that right.
We talked about the ownership group for the Utah Black Diamonds on the side of Miami Pickleball Club. Some big names: Nick Kyrgios, Naomi Osaka, Kygo, Pat Mahomes. A little Chiefs action in there. Rich Paul. Wilson takes the first shot. Nice deflection from Federico Staxrud.
1-0.
Of course, you have to remember back to Atlanta as well. The Miami Pickleball Club made it all the way to the semifinals as they took a loss to the DC Pickleball team. Utah Black Diamonds unable to make it to the playoffs in our previous event in Atlanta. So they look to improve and try and find a little quarterfinal action. Tyson McGuffin turned the paddle the right way.
And something to note here with all four players is they both can play right and left side. So if something's not working, they have no problem going and switching it up, maybe getting a different look, different pattern set up. So if that's the case here, for the Black Diamonds, they can go ahead and make that switch and be just fine as well.
It's rare to see a hands battle not only stay on the same side of the court, but also on the same side of their body.
Yeah, it was very small margin to work with there, so credit to them for, especially Thomas Wilson, of probably 3 inches, making sure he got that one in.
Wilson trying to save it. AJ Kohler looking for the lob. Not necessarily a bad idea. Nearly caught Tyson McGuffin off guard.
Yeah, and that's just he just has to execute those shots well. If he's gonna go for it, let's get it a little bit higher. If he's not, just don't even attempt those. So just really having just a lot of conviction with his shots of what he's choosing to hit.
5-3.
Hands. Thomas Wilson looks like he's ready to play.
I think he smiles probably as much as Vivian David, which is why they're a great mixed doubles team as well on the PPA Tour.
And Federico's windup is so impressive. He takes such a roundabout way, and it just forces you as a defender to be so uncomfortable, not knowing which way to go. Staxrud and McGuffin, little chest bump as they're up 7-4.
And one of the nicest guys, smiling, I mean, helping everyone out.
Wilson's over there hurdling fences. I mean, he is from Texas.
He is.
Everyone ready and waiting. Some of these speed ups, they're getting forced to come off the bounce, having to get creative just because the dinks are so shallow.
Yeah, and they're just pinpointing their position there. And it's not too much of an aggressive hands battle that they're having, but they're placing it really well, really jamming up the other guys.
Little smoke and mirrors. I think it might have been a screenplay. I thought I only saw those on social media.
I don't think it was planned, but it looked good, and it worked out in their favor. But again, like I said, all the guys can play both sides here, so for them to get stuck on one side or the other in a mix-up like that is no problem.
AJ Kohler again looks to the lob. I mean, that was about probably 2 inches from being a winner.
Johnny Goldberg over there making it look like it was 2 feet out.
I will say Texas known for its barbecue. Somewhere on site, we're getting plenty of it waving into championship court. To 5, Miami with a strong start. And not to mention, of course, picking up that big-time win for women's gender doubles as Annalie Waters and Irina Tereshchenko took a loss to Hurricane Tyra Black and Mary Brasha. Right now, they really need the second game. We'll take a look around the tournament now as we have mentioned some of the teams into the semifinals. That would be the Orlando Squeeze and the DC Pickleball team. Some other matchups taking place. Texas Ranchers, of course, picked up the win over the Chicago Slice. That was the crazy one where the Chicago Slice ended up with 2 losses but still made it on through. So the Brooklyn Aces now playing the Dallas Pickleball Club. First for Catherine Parento and Andrea Coop, 21-19, as they are now on to men's doubles. Their second game. And the Columbus Sliders are facing off against the Atlanta Bouncers. Sure that ATP would have been good, but AJ Kohler found it off the edge of his paddle.
I think Fed sold it great right there, and it's hard when you pull your opponent out so hard, it's hard not to at least try to hit that one, so good on him.
Tries to double down on it. What do you want to see from Utah Black Diamonds after this point, Cam, as they are now trailing by a significant margin, 6 points?
I think what they did, number one, they switched sides. So now we have AJ Kohler on the right, Thomas Wilson on the left. I like that look because Thomas Wilson can do a lot of setup points at the kitchen line. He really likes to run around his backhand dink to hit the forehand roll, can really set up Kohler, maybe take a little bit of pressure off of Kohler so he can really find his hands as well, get a little bit more aggressive. So I like this setup more anyway, so I'm glad that they made the switch. Hopefully now they can capitalize on it, get a little bit more aggressive here, and I'd like to see some drives from Thomas Wilson, see if they can't get the Miami club a little rattled.
Wow, love that location from Federico Staxrud.
But it was a better, if you looked at the diamonds now on this side with this setup, it was much better. Even though they lost the point, I think they looked more aggressive, and Kohler's hands were a little bit better on that right-handed side. So I think it's going to be a more competitive match here on the change of ends. But still look for Miami to keep their foot on the pedal.
Wicked overhead from Federico Staxrud. Look at this guy, just fully airborne.
15-7.
And that's what Wilson's going to have to do along with Kohler is keep Miami back as much as they can. Keep them at the baseline. Keep them at that transition zone because right now they're beating them to the kitchen and they are losing.
Man, Fed is just on one on that left side right now. He cannot miss.
No, and they're just establishing themselves up the kitchen line first and foremost. And so for you to get up there, get comfortable, then you start working the point a little bit. It just doesn't give the Diamonds a chance to really set up and work the point into their favor.
Shot. He tried to go for it. Paddle position really low as he tried to loop that one back in bounds.
I liked it too.
Not a bad idea, just not enough.
And that's a shot Staksrud goes for often. He really does like to jump the corner there and Ernie and put a lot of pressure there on that right-sided player. So he didn't get it, but it keeps Kohler thinking, you know, I got to make sure my dinks are okay. Same with Thomas Wilson, so that doesn't happen again.
What I'm talking about, just so good on the extension. Watch this from Fed. He goes backhand, slides, full extension, really nice topspin on the last 2 inches of his paddle. Well, that was just a mean drop. I don't blame him for charging in.
Yeah, you can see him shaking his head, not the one to go on. But again, you know, they're up 17-11. They've been playing great. Keep being aggressive. I like it. Even though they've missed, they've been winning a lot of those points.
A little assist from Kohler. Unfortunately, that is not allowed.
Oh, he played it off well.
Timeout called by the Black Diamonds. 11-18. We've seen margins diminished. However, this feels like it might be a bit too much for the Utah Black Diamonds.
Yeah, it's something to note too is with a team like Kohler and Wilson, they're very comfortable playing with each other. They've played together many times on the PPA Tour, so they can sometimes gel and really gain some momentum here. So with it still being such a large margin of a lead here for Miami, if they get to that 20-point mark, they have to close it out. Because what can happen is they'll start to rally back the Diamonds, start to get points, and it's going to be a lot closer than they want it to. So hopefully they can keep the aggression, even though, you know, Fed's missed a ATP here, Ernie there, whatever. I still think that's been in their favor, is being the aggressor here, but they have to close out when it gets to these key points here.
Utah Black Diamonds may rely on their mixed doubles competitions to try to get themselves back into this. They have already won a Dream Breaker in competition that came over
DC Pickle.
the DC Pickleball team. Dallas Pickleball Club, DPC.
Yes. Dallas Pickle, you know.
Stick with the soft stuff this time instead.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He just wants to create, almost just forcing it. It's not there yet. It's too low beneath the net.
Thomas Wilson trying to find that forehand on the backhand side. Instead, it now becomes game point for Miami.
And this is where you have to close. You cannot have the Diamonds come rally back. And they don't.
And a roar to finish it. Tyson McGuffin with the final shot on the backhand of his paddle. 21-11. Miami, rather electric.
Yeah, this is a completely different team that I saw last night, a different Tyson McGuffin. So I just think it's a good start for them to head into mixed doubles here, see if they can't keep this momentum ahead of the Black Diamonds.
You win and you're in. So far, the Miami Pickleball Club is looking ready to go.
What's your DUPR?
At The Botanist, we always look further, seeing potential where others may not. We sustainably hand-forage 22 Isla botanicals to make a beautifully balanced gin, capturing the essence of our Scottish island home. Consciously crafted by our community to be enjoyed by yours. Look further.
The stands filling in here as the Miami Pickleball Club has the lead 2-0. Welcome back to Major League Pickleball by Margaritaville. The great state of Texas is playing host to our second stop in Season 2. We are now in Day 3 coverage, which means we're just about to close out some of our premier level group stage. As the Miami Pickleball Club, they just need one to move on to the quarterfinals. We'll see if they can get it done as we head to mixed doubles. I believe Miami got a chance to choose their lineup first. So Hurricane Tyra Black and Federico Staksrud are out on the court as the Utah Black Diamonds had a chance to react to the mixed doubles lineup. And no surprise here, Annalie Waters and AJ Kohler out on the court.
Yeah, it's a must-win. You're gonna put your best player, not only best player on the team, the best player in the world out there first. So no surprise here that they chose to go with Annalie Waters.
First point to Miami. So do you go away from Annalie Waters and you just try and find AJ? Is that how this works?
To an extent, yes. You definitely want to go to, I don't want to say, not the weaker player of the two, but there's someone like Annalie Waters that can just take over the match just herself, even in mixed doubles. She's very confident going straight up against the guy. So, Kohler even mentioned it before. He's like, I don't mind being the setup guy here. So he knows his role. Again, he just needs to be consistent. If he has a winner, go for it. But right now, we just need consistency from AJ Kohler and then let Annalie Waters go to work.
AJ could be an amazing setup person, and he can also be the aggressor and the setup at the same time and let Annalie Waters finish off some of these points.
3-0.
changed his grip right before he made contact. You can even see it. Watch, he kind of twists it as it goes up. Right there to get a little extra pop on it, and that he did.
Yes, he did.
5-0 start for the Miami Pickleball Club.
5-0.
Trying to cover again. Fed picks up where he left off.
He does. You saw Waters there almost kind of bait over, like she may do an Ernie, may not, but it just left such a big gap in the middle there, and Kohler not able to close it.
AJ making a few extra balls, really solid defense as he charges back to the kitchen line.
And he has to be this player. He has to be this confident. He has to flick his shots, change his grip, whatever it is out there, because right now, like you said, this is a this is a lose and you're out kind of situation here. So a must win for them. And again, that's what's hard. He can get confident, hit those great points, but then go for too much on the next one. So it's just finding that easy balance there with Kohler that's going to be key in this match.
There's the two-hand backhand. You almost want to give her just a hair more room so she can really work to cover that middle. 2-7.
10-7.
Hurricane just a little slow on the step back.
Yeah, it just seemed just a little flat on that one. Didn't get her feet underneath her, didn't bend her knees at all. So just a little mishap dink there.
Out of bounds, but man, it is sure fun to watch AJ Kohler play pickleball, just coming up with some wild ways to get to the kitchen line.
Yeah, credit to Miami. I mean, those are some incredible gets, especially by Staxford there, just flying all over the court.
Okay, Fed. Talk about some defense.
I like right now just some changes of shots. We see some lobs kind of thrown up everywhere. You're crashing right off the bat. So some fun pickleball right now we're watching.
I would say Fed's seeing red, but I think it's more like a neon pink. Another point for Miami Pickleball Club.
I mean, this is the best I've seen Fed play, and take that much court with that much confidence, with that much power behind him. I mean, he's just everywhere laterally, really stepping in front of Black there and just taking control of this match right now. AJ's going to have to match him, but keep his control if they want a chance in this matchup.
Make it one more. He cannot miss. Immediately goes to the sideline, gets a nice little shove from his men's doubles partner, Tyson McGuffin. I mean, if you're taking those away as points, there is not much the Utah Black Diamonds can do.
And I don't think people realize how hard it is when you're swinging that hard and fully across your body at the kitchen line to keep the ball in. He's doing it consistently with moving laterally with the backhand flick, the forehand drive there from the kitchen.
You know, it's so funny as you watch professional pickleball now at the highest level, we always talk about, you know, the ability to reset and how important that is. But the reality is now as the game has continued to grow, you're honestly not seeing that many resets resets at the kitchen. It's all about your ability to counter and continue to counter. The resets really only come through the transition zone now.
I agree, and a lot of it is due to these new paddle technologies. There's just so much pop off of these paddles, and credit to the players. They're sitting there day in and day out, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a day, just really focusing, training. I mean, now they have ball machines that they're just hitting over and over, repetition, where it used to just be you played a game to train. Not like that anymore.
Well, and if you're sitting there just resetting at the kitchen line, you're just begging them to continue to have an onslaught of offense against you.
Yes.
You have to be able to apply the pressure right back. Black Diamonds steal one away as a foot fault is called on Staxrud.
Good on him. I mean, the fact that that's his first one after how much action he's had up at the kitchen line is incredible.
4-11.
And that's what I mean. Kohler just can't force it right now. I mean, just play within yourself. You have the shots. You have the best player in the world on your side. Make the ball. See if you can't get in it to start working it into your favor. It's just, you don't want to hurry up and lose the point.
This time it's Hurricane Tyra Black. It's been all about Fed with the amount of court movement that he's had. Black getting in the mix here.
13-4.
Drive drop combo for Miami.
Come on. 5-13.
We haven't seen Annalie Waters really have any sort of a chance to create offense. Nothing has really gone her direction.
And that's credit to Miami. I mean, they've just been really, not necessarily keeping it away from her, but keeping it away from her powerful trajectory shots that she can really do a lot of damage with on that end. So credit to them to not really give her a lot to work with.
It's like she's been stuck on a chairlift, broke down.
Yeah, and that's hard to do. I mean, when you, yes, pun intended, but when you play someone like her, it's hard to completely shut her out because you know she's going to hit winners, you know she's going to be involved, but for them to completely almost freeze her and freeze this team is, I mean, what, 17-5? 16-5?
Pretty remarkable from the Miami Pickleball Club. Slow walk to grab the ball now for Annalie Waters. They would have to pick up both the mixed doubles competitions as well as a dream breaker to take home this match. However, Miami's got a lot of grace, a lot of room to finish out this game 3.
7-16.
You know, as much as they haven't been able to find their game, you gotta still also applaud just some of the personalities that are out on the court. You think of AJ Kohler and the fun that he always presents to the pickleball community. It was Halloween not too long ago. He showed up here in some Utah Black Diamonds gear.
It was great.
Full ski suit. It was funny, he was wearing ski gloves and said, man, it's really hard to get the feel on the grip of my pickleball paddle. Found the right one on this.
I mean, that's just tough. Yes, it clipped off the net, but credit to Fed. I mean, he's just keeping this momentum and wanting to be super aggressive at the kitchen line, just almost hitting every speed up. He really doesn't want to dink, and it's been working well on his side. They don't want to get in those long dink rallies.
18-8 here as a timeout is called. Let's give you a little glimpse as to what's to come on championship court, because coming up next, it's time to head to the challenger level final. The Frisco Pandas versus the SoCal Heart Eights, who look to go back-to-back with titles won at the challenger level from Atlanta now to Dallas. The Frisco Pandas, some new names in the mix. It's going to be a fun matchup. You're not going to want to miss any of the action. We'll be right here on championship court at the conclusion of this matchup. Federico Stackstrud, Hurricane Tyra Black trying to close this out. You see Lee Waters, mom to Anna Lee Waters, and also pro pickleball player Lee. She usually plays alongside Anna Lee, but has been recovering from a knee surgery over this past year. Hopefully get a chance to see Lee back out on the pickleball court.
Yeah, I think she's
in 2024.
Yeah. She wants to make her way back out, and we've all missed her. It was so much fun to watch her and Anna Lee just, I mean, really be so successful as a partnership.
Anna Lee and AJ just looked at each other going, really? Even that's going to land for them? What are we supposed to do? Anna Lee now on the left side. Make it 20-8. Miami about to secure their seat into the quarterfinals.
I mean, Federico Stackstrud, we got to give it to him. This has been absolutely incredible.
Some really nice defense from Miami, but Utah earns the ball back.
And if this is the time to rally back, you have pretty much no other chance to do so. They got to stay aggressive.
9-20.
Talk about some power. Both of those from Anna Lee Waters and AJ Kohler. A little extra emphasis.
That's the first time I've really seen her scream out, you know, getting something out there to show that they're in this.
She wanted to go, oh my goodness. Yeah, that's going to be a card.
Oh, no.
That's going to definitely be a card.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a card.
16 years old. 16 years old.
Some language came from Federico Stackstrud after the conclusion of that hands battle. They're going to need to manage this situation. An orange card given.
Offensive language.
And it's warranted.
They are taking away a point from the Miami.
Fed apologizing. Emotions got the better of him.
Come on. Bro, come on. You apologize.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold down. We just awarded a technical foul or an orange card to Miami for offensive language. That results in a point being taken away from them. We will resume play with Utah serving.
Fed apologizing again. AJ Kohler not going to have a handshake with him right here. Frustrated. Some language again from Stackstrud. He's trying to go head-to-head with Anna Lee Waters, won the point, but ultimately goes to the other direction as the orange card was awarded. Timeout now called by Johnny Goldberg. They've got to reassess what's going on right now. Again, the Utah Black Diamonds just having a little bit of a laugh right now. I think you got to just let this one go and move forward, as now you're going to get a chance as the ball goes to the opposite side with the orange card.
And I did hear Lee Waters come over and talk to Kohler and Anna Lee, and she just said, hey, use it. Go at him even harder right now. So, you know, like we said, this is Major League Pickleball. I mean, there's a lot on the line right now. This is win and you're in, and lose and you go home. And so, you know, you just got to watch those emotions.
And I think a little bit too for AJ Kohler. He's a little protective as he should be for his partner, you know.
She even said
I
yesterday.
also like that.
Yeah, she said yesterday, he's like my big brother.
Yeah, he's watching out for her. So again, this is now a timeout being called after the orange card was made on Federico Staksrud.
So we roll down.
So with the orange card, they are deducting a point from Miami's score, so it will be 10-19. And this is where it gets interesting. The ball actually, correct me, is actually going to stay on Miami's side as they won the rally. However, a point is deducted from their score. AJ Kohler adds one to the side of the Utah Black Diamonds. 11-19.
Sometimes it's hard too to come out of that with not some jitters of all of what just happened. Your emotions got the best of you there. So I like that it was a little bit of a slower start. We saw that was probably the longest rally we've seen in this match.
Getting into it again as Federico Staksrud faces off against that first speed up. Really nice job right here as he faces off against AJ Kohler. Back to game point and match point for the Miami Pickleball Club. And the match is done. Miami Pickleball Club. Handshakes are given out between Fed, AJ, and Annalie Waters, as well as Hurricane Tyra Black. Some apologies being made as everyone trying to find the center between the two of them. But nonetheless, Miami Pickleball Club picks up the win, and we will have one more mixed doubles matchup between these two teams as we are still in the midst of a group play matchup. We'll have more on the other side of this break.
No.
And I said, Saturday, no one's here, right? Are you getting this? So if he wants the invoice.
Water doesn't have to be boring. Turn it up with Cirkul. With over 40 delicious flavors and a dial that controls your intensity, Cirkul starts a party for your taste buds. No sugar, no calories, and no artificial flavors. Just good times. Cirkul, it's your water, your way. Try Cirkul at drinkcirkul.com.
What's your DUPR?
My name is Itamar, and this is the story of how I got my life back. In college, I injured my back swimming, and pain became so bad that I couldn't function. Treatment was solely focused on my lower back. I was worried that I was never going to get better. When I found HSS, it felt like I had found the cure to my pain. My doctor asked about my hips as opposed to every other doctor that only asked about my back. HSS changed and saved my life.
Tensions were rising in this matchup between the Miami Pickleball Club and the Utah Black Diamonds. The win has now been secured by Miami. However, we have one more game still left to be played in this matchup. Thomas Wilson and Irina Tereshchenko now take the court for the Utah Black Diamonds, as do Mary Brasha and Tyson McGuffin. So the Miami Pickleball Club moving on to the quarterfinals. Some words on the back of the court and a little fun in the stands. Caitlin Kerr making sure our crew is roaring and ready to go for the rest of the afternoon. I think we're having breakdancing competition out there. Oh my goodness.
Oh, we are.
That's making my spine hurt just watching it.
I just saw feet in the air.
And they weren't Elise Jones.
I know. Only got one fall from her last night. I saw her mom this morning. We were getting in the shuttle, and I said, I've seen her in the air so much. I was wondering when she's going to be on the ground. She goes, she'll get there soon enough.
Lee Waters with some words for Thomas Wilson, Irina Tereshchenko.
And even here, you know, it's tough because, yes, you've lost the match. You know you're out. But again, it's still fighting for every point. I mean, this is just such an incredible opportunity. We've talked about it before. Just being out here and playing this incredible sport and really still giving it your all. And on the flip side, making sure that you want to take this 4-0. You want to get any kinks out of the way that you might have, something that's not gelling with Brasha and McGuffin. Kind of, you know, last night wasn't their best showing, so hopefully they can really put together those pieces that they're really going to need later tonight.
They'll be playing in the quarterfinals, to your point. DC Pickleball team and Orlando Squeeze get the first round bye. Update for you, the Columbus Sliders are facing off against the Atlanta Bouncers currently. Sliders with the lead there. I think that ball is good for Thomas Wilson. No, called out of bounds.
Yeah, I saw Brasha put her finger up right away.
Okay, I missed that. So the other team looking to secure a victory to move on to the quarterfinals. That is between the Brooklyn Aces and the Dallas Pickleball Club. They are in Game 3 action, the first mixed doubles competition, tied at 1 apiece. Make sure you've got multiple screens. Grab your phone, your computer, maybe an iPad or two. Be able to watch all this Major League Pickleball action. Multi-court streams. Wow, that is impressive play from Thomas Wilson.
And that's what he can create on the left side there. He can just, he's so crafty running behind or running to hit the forehand side of that backhand roll there, and he can just really create, push it nice and wide there, really create a lot of problems.
Catches Thomas Wilson over the top of his head.
4-5.
Thomas Wilson, originally out of Texas, went on to play tennis at Purdue as well as the University of Texas. Fortunately dealt with some injuries throughout his career, so nice to see him nice and healthy on the pickleball court. Brascia. Outstanding play.
And that's what I really like to see from them, is really finding their groove there and playing as one. Like she was off the court, covered, came back on. So that energy is exactly what they're both needing right now to close this one out.
Thomas Wilson was on that as well by Irina Tereshchenko. Stuck her paddle out tough when she thought her partner was all the way off to the court.
7-6.
A little no-looky cookie from Thomas Wilson.
He's crafty.
Tyson McGuffin just looked across and was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, you gotta laugh at that one. Credit to Thomas Wilson. I mean, not only is he crafty, he is so incredibly fast. And I like what he did there. When he was in trouble, he decided to loft it up even higher just so Irina and him could get back in position there to give themselves a chance. Came out on top.
Tyson calling that ball out of bounds, but Mary instead goes for the overhead. She says, don't worry, partner.
8-8.
All right. A little cross-court overhead from Thomas Wilson.
Hey, you want to talk about hops? He definitely has it out there, and he can just also be so consistent with where he's placing it. Even when you don't think his body's in the right position, he always seems to come up with a winner.
Thomas Wilson has had a pretty phenomenal career to this point, even on the Carvana PPA Tour. He's come away with 10 medals now. Tyson McGuffin just looked like he was trying to win a race with the ball all the way to that end of the lob.
Yeah, I thought Thomas Wilson was going to be a little bit cheeky and hit a drop shot off of that. You know, opted to go back to the baseline, bring them back in, but great job by all players on court, especially McGuffin there.
Celebrates better than Mary Brascia.
I agree.
So keeping this nice and close here in our fourth game, the second mixed doubles. 11-10 now for the Miami Pickleball Club. Mary Brascia, you just saw her hit a wicked shot. She comes out of Southern California. She graduated recently from Biola University. It was so funny because I remember when she was still playing both tennis and pickleball, playing collegiately and then playing pickleball on the side. And she used to talk about, man, I can't wait to. She loved her Biola team, but she was just so excited to go fully into the game of pickleball. It's where her heart now resides. I don't know the last time she's picked up a tennis racket to this point, but she comes with just such ferocity in terms of her approach to pickleball and her love and ability to play. Maggie Brascia, her sister, also a professional pickleball player. She's not in action here today as she's dealing with an illness, so she has not been able to be out on the court here for Major League Pickleball in Dallas. She's been missed as a fill-in was there for her. Megan Fudge, I believe, replaced her. But
and to watch them together is so much fun. You know, why wouldn't you want to play with your sister? I mean, you can practice together, you know, figure out everything. Kalmotos do the same thing. You can kind of see just that unsaid strategy between the two, and it's really fun to watch them play. And like you said, the celebrations are great.
Mary looking over to Tyson McGuffin, nice little finger point. Seems as if their games are really complementing one another. They're moving well and in unison together. And again, that's a great example as Mary Brasha utilizing a beautiful topspin roll, sets it up, and Tyson McGuffin easily able to come over and clean up.
Yeah, a lot of players would have just hit a nice dink or maybe soften it up a little bit, but she really ended up setting up McGuffin, so good on her to take control of that point.
So it was 11-10 at the change of ends. However, it looks as if Miami starting to storm ahead, 14-10.
Nice spot there, right in the transition zone as McGuffin's starting to come up. Good spot from Tereshchenko.
Another one, back-to-back for Tereshchenko.
12-14.
And again, it's like there's an assist. I think Mary Brasha should start to have an assist column in her stat line.
I agree. She's playing it perfectly right now, and not with too much pace. Yeah, she can speed it up when she needs to. That was just a good lofty dink right behind Wilson there, setting up McGuffin. They're going to need that moving on into the quarterfinals.
Tereshchenko just turned into Stretch Armstrong on one of those digs. Tyson McGuffin spreading that ball around. Nice cutting return, not enough height for Mary Brasha to get underneath.
13-16.
Tereshchenko coming up to the kitchen line.
You saw at the end there, I mean, really in that I formation taking over, and a little bit of a relief thinking that was out there. Something to mention, these two have played together before. They were on the Mad Drops and won in that super final there in June in San Clemente. So very familiar with each other's game, very comfortable, good friends, and it really shows on the court as well.
That, of course, that victory came for the Mad Drops, but look at this. Mary Brasha somehow, I think that was a two-handed forehand we just witnessed.
Well, leave it to Mary Brasha to be hitting those shots. I mean, I still think she has the most epic shot in pickleball ever, and I don't know if it'll ever be matched. I really don't know.
Probably only by her, of course,
yes.
The merry-go-round. You can also check out Mary's podcast. It's from Selkirk TV. Tyson McGuffin also has got his own podcast. If you want to find some of the insights to the world of pickleball, head to theirs. Just, a couple content creators out there.
They're just really placing the ball so well. I mean, they're just playing that like smart pickleball, not going for too much, not going right at the body, engaging in those firefights, but really just pinpointing those aggressive dinks, which they're getting pop-ups. That's exactly what they're wanting. McGuffin's finishing, those high balls when he gets them. But they're really creating that and doing a great job.
A 19-14 timeout called on championship court. Again, Miami has already picked up the win, just trying to solidify themselves with an extra win on their side. On the outer courts, the grandstand. Brooklyn Aces versus Dallas Pickleball Club. 2-1 is the score there in terms of the match score. Now in the second mixed doubles competition. Again, a win and you're in situation between the Brooklyn Aces and the Dallas Pickleball Club. Tyson McGuffin, Mary Brasha, 5-point lead. Just 2 away from finishing this championship court match. Thomas Wilson now gets the serve on an odd number.
15-19.
Try to find the inside-out counter. That's going to be really tough for a paddle position.
Yeah, and you know, someone like Thomas Wilson, he is very comfortable, almost jammed up in that position, playing that forehand roll, but just too good here from Miami.
Game point. That had some heat behind it as it goes out of bounds. 21-15, a 4-0 win for the Miami Pickleball Club. They have officially taken the win as they will move on to the quarterfinals. Congratulations to Miami as they are moving on. Cameron Blackwood is currently headed down to the court to be able to pick up an interview with all 4 of these winners. You're not going to want to miss what they have to say. Major League Pickleball by Margaritaville is brought to you by the Botanist Island Dry Gin, the gin that speaks to a place. Skechers, experience comfort on the court with Skechers Pickleball. Nobilo, New Zealand's finest Sauvignon Blanc. And by Margaritaville, escape to your personal paradise. Stay, play, live, and dine in Margaritaville.
The all-new Prius. Toyota. Let's go places.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball.
Match point, it's all up to me. Nothing can get in my way. And when they ask, what are you gonna do next? I'll say, I'm going.
We're going to Margaritaville!
You can go to Margaritaville too. Visit MargaritavilleResorts.com.
Welcome back here to center court, where the Miami team, now you solidify yourself in the quarterfinal. How big was this win here? Because you guys had a great run in Atlanta, weren't close to finishing out, getting yourself in the finals. How much do you want it this go around?
Yeah, it was huge. We weren't sharp last night, so we definitely cleaned up our act today. I thought the girls set the tone early. Fed and I came in and cleaned house, and I thought we all played sharp, brought the energy, and here we are.
And like he said, it didn't look like you guys were going to win that women's doubles match, but you guys climbed back in it. Just how strong of a team are you and Mary?
I think we're a great team. We complement each other really well, and she was pumping me up, and yeah.
And you guys are heading into the quarterfinal here. Is there any adjustments? What's the talk going to be before you guys head into that?
Oh, I think we have to stick to the system. We've been saying that, work the system, bring the energy, and we're going to get all the way to the championship.
And Fed, emotions run high always here at Major League Pickleball. How were you able to regroup and take that win there in that mixed doubles match?
Yeah, let me just first of all apologize to the whole team, Utah Black Diamonds, and also Anna Lee specifically. What I say is really not right at all. She said something which is perfectly fine. I love trash talk and a sport, but what I did exceeded the line. So I think there's boundaries, and I exceeded those boundaries. So I want to apologize to everyone watching and everybody here in the stadium, and also the team and Anna Lee for sure.
Thanks, Ved. Miami Pickleball Club, they're heading into the quarterfinals tonight, but don't go anywhere. We're going to come right back with the Challenger final here on center court.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob ULTRA, superior light beer.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball.
Innovation is our specialty. Winning is his. Zane Navratil has won more than 40 pro gold medals in back-to-back Major League Pickleball titles. One of pickleball's most iconic and decorated athletes teamed up with our world-class engineers with one goal in mind: build a paddle that can dominate. The Zane Navratil Signature Paddle, designed for champions by champions. Available now. ProXR Pickleball. Innovation you can handle.
Dulce Vida Tequila. Tequila, pure and simple.